Hola. Hey, papi. What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Let me get the stuff together. All right. What's up? Welcome to the GreatMines Show. We're back with another great episode. Before we get started, which you guys know what we're about to do. We're about to get into season 16, episode 5 of RuPaul's Drag Race.
Oh, yeah.
But before we get started, make sure you guys join in the conversation below. Like, subscribe, share the conversation with others so that others can join and be a part of the conversation. Have you watched RuPaul's Drag Race? Have you been keeping up with season 16? Are you just joining us? Jump in.
Yes.
We got a great show because this was another great episode.
Yes.
So where do we start?
Oh, goodness. Well, let's there's so much that we could dive into.
Do we pick up on Mirage's exit and the girls all crying?
Oh, yeah, that was something with Mirage, dramatics on the way out and everything, and you feel bad for it again, dreams and things of that nature. But there was some drama in the back room, once they got back there and they had their little morning session over Mirage's exit. There was some drama with Q expressing her frustration with being in the tops again and then coming so short.
Doesn't that sound
of
so
a victory.
Crazy? She's complaining because she's in the top again.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it's more than just the fact that she placed in the top.
Because that's 3 weeks in a row for Q. 3 weeks in a row that she's been in the top. She's been in amongst the top 3 of a maxi challenge and has not won. So,
well, I made the statement earlier before the show. We're on episode 5. She's been in the top every episode she's been on. Complain about just being okay in the top at episode 8 or 9. Right now, it's still too early. You're on a very good trajectory right now. Don't get in your head, girl. It will come back to haunt you. I know. Hell, if you watch the episode, we all know. But I think that's what Q's issue is now, because it's when you know you're good enough, you want that. And I know people say don't seek for validation, but you want that validation. You know you're good. You know you have something to offer. You know that the something you have to offer is greatness. Why aren't you bitches seeing me? So I get the frustration, but the problem with that is you start to second guess yourself and think oh, well, maybe I'm not. No, Q, sweetie, you got it. You got it. Don't get in your head, baby. We got you. But it's too early to be crying about just being in the top. It doesn't make sense to me.
Right. Yeah, no. We have made it clear that, we definitely feel like Q is a strong competitor, a strong queen, and has the chops to, possibly be there on finale night. It's just that, unfortunately, it wasn't her nights these past, these past couple episodes where she was in the tops, and it just wasn't her night. It is what it is. There were people that were there that did a better job, at the end of the day.
And you got to give credit where credit is due. When you're in with a bunch of amazing queens, sometimes, everyone's being in the top when you got a really strong top 5, maybe. Right. That's a good thing. It's not much that you can really bat an eye at. That's a very big accomplishment for Q and all the other girls that are hovering in this top section.
Because understand that even just getting on the show, not saying that, getting on RuPaul's Drag Race is a big deal. It is a big deal, but understand that you've won something, because there's pageant queens whose resumes are long, who have been trying to get on this show for years, and you're, just, you're on the show. So that you just being on this show is a win amongst itself. So, don't lose sight of that win. And use the momentum from those little wins to build you into to build you up to be there on finale night. And I think that Q, kind of, broke a little bit. And I've been in those situations where it's you come close a lot and no cigar. And it's it's frustrating. But you got to try to look on the bright side in order to carry you on through that next battle.
I also understand the competition is steep. So like a slip up could send you home. But also when you're in the top, it's like, no, I still got more to show. Like, oh, I didn't do well this episode, but I'm in the top, so I still have a chance to come back and do it again and do it better. So, yeah, let's get into some of the other things that's going on, because when Q was crying her case,
Right.
kind of like right after we were acknowledging Plasma for her win.
Right.
Plasma said she kind of like you can feel like heat on the back of her neck as Q was behind her. When Q started going into her spiel, then Plain Jane chimed in, and we know that Plain Jane is not a favorite, and there's a lot to be said about Plain, but I think we all agree with her on this one.
Right. Like you can't necessarily, cry because you won the lottery.
Right.
Like, I mean, what is that?
That's what it is. It's like you won the lottery and you're upset because why now? And Tsunami got in because she was like, "Yeah, I'm living for Plain right now for that moment anyway." There is a mini challenge.
Yes.
And RuPaul is basically giving away a free copy of his book.
Yep.
So whoever won the challenge got a signed copy.
Yep. And $2,000.
Oh, that was just like, and some change, but you're getting my book.
Yeah. Yeah, the big thing was the book.
Yeah, he was definitely
autographed first edition.
Yes.
So hey, might be worth something in a couple dozen years.
Well, I mean, it is RuPaul, who has decades worth of experience in mainstream entertainment as well as gay culture, American culture, world culture. Like RuPaul really is a very impactful figure in the past 50 years. Just have to give them credit for that.
Yes.
So I would be interested to see some of the stories that is in the book.
If there are good stories, because sometimes they don't really tell the
I feel like it's going to be a good story. Have you ever watched any of the random documentaries of RuPaul on YouTube? No. I think I've watched maybe 2 of them. Literally just random. Who RuPaul is today is very conservative. I wouldn't say reserved, but very Mariah Carey. I'm stuck like this. I do not turn my neck. I do like this. Just put together in a way that if I move too fast, I might break. Also considering RuPaul is in his 60s. But there was a time Ru was in her 20s and was a party kid, was a club kid. So it's like the stories that man can tell or that drag queen can tell. And trust me, drag queen stories are always better.
Pretty sure all the drugs.
The drugs, the sex, the parties, the fights, the crafting, and I'm sure. And then Ru is an old school girl, so the people that she's going to talk about in this book, could you imagine? I'm telling you, this might actually, Ru, you need to give something to me because I just did a hell of a plug for your book.
Yeah, right, right.
That's yeah.
So that was the prize, and it was basically the mini competition was to do a little blurb about your tell-all memoir, and then do a cover shoot, get in a quick drag and everything. So did anyone stand out to you
me
through the mini challenge? Because I mean, for me, for all of the wrong reasons, you got Maya Iman LePage, who came out there in the Catwoman catsuit and just
legitimately Catwoman.
Yeah, and it was just like, what is this? Okay. And then you had I thought that Plain Jane's was inventive. Where she came out as a lady cock to stink, I think is what it was.
That was definitely different.
Yeah.
So you gotta give Plain credit for that. No one else was that different.
Yeah.
I mean, you could argue that Dawn was sort of.
Dawn was okay. Yeah, Dawn was okay. Dawn was okay.
On Twitter, she was talking about how she felt like she dressed real cute that day to turn around and dress up in basically nothing up top, these zebra type print pants, big padded booty
yeah.
with the makeup crying and like her makeup as of her crying or whatever like that. It was cute, but it was like I was cute today to turn into this.
I really like Q's, and Q's book was called Why.
So that was clever. It was cute. I agree with you on that one.
Yeah. But the winner of the mini challenge was
Slewfoot Saphira.
Yep, our girl. You know,
so another
Philly
win for
girl.
Philly.
Yep, and that's what's that? 3 mini challenge wins or two?
Two mini
challenge wins. Yeah, two. Yeah. So
Saphira and Nymphia are the most accomplished,
decorated.
Yes,
most decorated queens thus far in the season.
Show. Yes, I mean it's almost like a clear shot as far as we can see. Those are our top two runners.
Yeah, those are our two racers who I think will be the final two standing when it comes to getting that crown. Now, unless Ru totally pulls a whoop-de-doo on us.
Another what the fuck moment?
Yeah, because
like
yes, and we're going to get into we're going to get into that. But unless something goes totally left, that should be the final two, as it stands right now. Not taking away from any of our other top queens, you know what I mean? Because we got some strong queens in this season. Like, I am very, very pleased with the selection of queens that we had this season, because they're all strong in their own unique way. Like, yes, you have some filler girls and everything, but
I didn't realize how prominent the filler girls really were.
Yeah,
but like, there are girls that are just like, hey, this girl exists. Pay attention to these girls. These girls exist, but these are the girls we want you to pay attention to.
Right. And kudos to some of those filler girls, you know,
that we've fallen in love with,
right,
on some level or another.
Yeah. We say that endearingly, filler girls.
We really do.
Yeah.
We do. I mean, hell, I think Heidi felt like a filler girl in All Stars.
Right. And so, you know, hey. So Sapphire Crystal won the mini challenge, and so then we go on to the maxi challenge, which is a girl group challenge.
So Ru is also promoting a new album. So they had to write verses to one of 3 of the songs. ASMR, Courage to Love, and what's the other one?
Star Baby or something like that.
You're a star baby.
Star baby.
Yeah. Ru is going to get those songs etched into our brains because, like, they're all over the show.
Yep. Especially that cowboy song the other day.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Candy.
Yep, and Cake and Candy. Oh my gosh, that lives rent free in my head. Like, I be walking around like cake and candy, cake and candy.
Muse.
Like,
you said cake and candy. Muse, cake.
No,
cake and candy.
No. Candy Muse does not live at all in any on this planet. No, sorry.
But anyway, so. During like the filler of the episode when we were watching the girls in the workroom, before we get to that, because we got they had teams.
Yeah, they had teams. It's a girl group, so 3 groups.
So the way Ru decided the captains is Saphira just won the mini challenge.
Yep.
So Saphira was team
captain.
Last week, Plasma won the main challenge, so Plasma was a captain. And last week, Geneva Carr was the one who survived the lip sync. So she was able to be a captain. So one by one, the 3 of them got to choose their group. And Saphira from the jump called her girl Dawn. And Plasma from the jump called Amanda. And Geneva from the jump called Maya. I'm sorry. So, it's just that I don't get it. Did I miss something? Are you missing something? Like, okay. And the reason why I'm doing all this is because after that, Saphira called, who was Saphira's second choice? Q? No, it wasn't Q.
Saphira, it was Dawn. Then
it was Dawn, Saphira, Q, and Morphine.
Right. Yes.
Jesus.
Q and
that
Morphine.
Was painful.
Morphine was the next choice.
Morphine was the next choice.
Right.
And then Plasma picked What was Plasma, Amanda, Jane, and
Tsunami. Yeah, so she picked Tsunami after that.
And Geneva picked Nymphia, which I am surprised that neither Plasma or Saphira picked Nymphia.
Right.
Because honestly, like, girlfriends aside, Nymphia would have been my first choice.
Yeah, no, yeah.
So, like, Dawn calling on, Saphira calling Dawn, I get that's your girlfriend, so I understand why you picked her first. But the moment that Plasma and Geneva didn't pick her,
well, yeah, like, yeah, that first go round, I get it that everybody picked their friends,
right?
But as much as I love my friends, yeah, sure. As much as I love my friends, like, my friends understand that I'm a winner. You know what I mean? And I win, and my first instinct is to win at any cost.
Also, let's not forget that y'all became friends on the show. Y'all, it's still a competition,
right? Yeah. And
speaking of, do we talk about the traitor? Just you and me.
Oh,
we didn't get a chance to get into that.
No,
I'm sorry, y'all. Yeah. I'm having a little side moment because the Traitors is another show that I would love to get into. Obviously, not right now.
Yeah, no.
But I say that because this is still a competition. This is still a show. Be friends. We'll be girlfriends after the season is over with. Meet me at the reunion. But right now, I got to be strategic. I got to make sure that I put the people on my team that's going to make my team win, so that way I walk away a winner. And in this episode, girlfriends came over strategy. Well, for most people.
Right. And so just to shake out the rest of it, you had left was after Nymphia was picked, you had
that's when we got Q. It was
Q.
Dawn, Morphine, then Q.
Yeah.
It was Amanda. Damn.
Again, Tsunami. And then Plain Jane, because Megami and Plain Jane were the last two, and Plasma picked Plain Jane, and then that left Megami going to the group with Geneva Carr,
Nymphia, and Megami.
Right. So, and then throughout the workroom, we get little clips, and you know how they show them doing work in the workroom, and they were setting it up, with the edit that the Geneva Carr group with Maya Malin Page and Nymphia Wind and Megami was not going to do well. You know what I mean? Like, they weren't looking too great. And then, especially once they got on the main stage, because they went to the main stage to practice and things of that nature. And that was a cool little moment where they kind of furthered the animosity, storyline between Plain Jane and a mandatory meeting, because a mandatory meeting was really taking to the choreography, and Plain Jane was having a little bit of a hard time. But it was a cool thing that they showed there to kind of further the little storyline, the internal storylines, to keep you invested in watching the show, because all three of these groups were absolutely phenomenal. Like, when I tell you that if you took each of these groups and put them on different seasons where they had the girl groups, right, and they just plug them into the competition, they're winning. Like, each individual performance is winning the girl group competition on any given season of RuPaul's Drag Race.
I'm thinking back. I don't know. I'm gonna put a pin in that one because I can't pull up the receipts right now.
Let us know in the comments if you disagree. I can't pull up the
receipts right now to be able to confirm, but I feel like
I
might be able to find a better girl group in the past season.
But still, even if
the point is that all of these groups were phenomenal.
They were all good.
They were great. They all had amazing verses. Some people had things that weren't as strong as others. But overall, if I was, well, no, because there was one performance that if I was at a live show and I saw that, my eyes would have went to her, but not because it was so great. And ironically enough, that's Q.
Right. And the crazy thing is, in my opinion, overall, theirs wasn't the worst group. Like, if I had to rank the groups, it was Megami's group first, or Geneva Carr's group with Megami, Maya Iman LePage and Nymphia Wynn. They to me did the best. They did ASMR Lover. Then next you would have had Sapphira's group of her,
Dawn,
Dawn,
Morphine,
Morphine, and
Q.
Q. Even though Q was by far the worst performance of any individual, okay,
Right,
but we're splitting hairs because it
with
was just
Monica,
about it was just about the dancing, honestly, like, and the fact that her outfit was kind of underwhelming. Those were the only two strikes against
kind of,
Q. Like, yeah, it was underwhelming, but
because everyone else's were like, it's crazy because no one really did a whole lot.
mm-hmm.
It was just better for this to be Q. It was constructed like subpar compared to everyone else's.
Bless you.
Thank you. So like it was cute, but it wasn't Q. I think that's what it was. It
Right,
wasn't Q.
right. And you could tell like Q was really working, you know what I mean? But I still thought that their group total was better than Plasma's group, and everything, and in the whole grand scheme of the
See, the
things.
only problem I would say with Plasma's group is
Mhm.
that I do feel like they all did great, but they're not as memorable as the other two
Right,
groups.
right. Yeah, no.
They just, I don't know.
It was very much, you know, very structured performance instead of structured to look like a good time. You know what I mean? It was definitely okay. I'm watching a performance here, and not to take away anything about that. It was just
It's just like I want to watch it and feel like this is just what we do,
mm-hmm.
and we're just sharing it with you on stage. Versus, oh, I can see you guys were practicing, and I can see it's like honestly, that's the same thing with what my complaint is with Q. I could legitimately see the wheels turning.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they were good, but yeah,
Right. And I'm going to
I have my
disagree
favorites.
with
I
T.S.
think
Madison because that's one of the critiques that
she
she
gave
gave
to Saphira.
Saphira on this. And yeah, no, like she didn't look like that was cute. Like you might have got confused because they was in the same group. Love you, T.S. Madison, but strongly disagree.
Yeah, I love you too, and I agree with Sony on this one. We
Mm-hmm.
disagree with that analysis because come on, she definitely does breathe this. She eats, sleeps, poops, pees
Yeah,
this.
of that group, Saphira's performance was the best in that group. Like it
Right.
was by far the best.
And Morphine killed it.
And Dawn was
Dawn murdered.
yeah.
Like honestly,
Like
there were moments in that performance where all I did was look at Dawn during other people's performances.
yeah. Dawn was just yeah. She looked amazing. Right. Yeah, so that was, pretty much I would say, my personal rankings of the performances, was, the ASMR Lover group. They were by far the best. Their song, their lyrics, everything fit, like it was a bop. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like yeah. Not saying that everyone else's wasn't a bop, but
No, they were good.
yeah.
I enjoyed and appreciate every performance tonight.
Yeah.
Um,
But there's bopped.
so then we have our runway.
Mm-hmm. Which the theme was, pussycat wigs.
Yes,
So short, cut wigs, pixie wigs, whatever you want to call them, whatever you want to do. So we got people doing the pussycats, and then we got people doing the pixies,
right. One of the first things I want to highlight,
finger
I'm not
waves.
going to touch on everybody's look,
Mm-hmm.
but one person I definitely want to highlight
Mm-hmm.
is actually Plain Jane.
Mm.
Um, I say that her look, she came out with like a kind of like a leather leotard type thing with the big boobs and then like big shoulder straps and a gas mask or whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
And this is not the first time that this can be said, but it gives me very much Jimbo. And it's like, okay, Plain Jane, is that your identity? Are your best moments replicas of Jimbo? Because that's what it's giving right now. The big boobs, the ditziness. Who said it? Where it's like someone's like I think it was Bob the Drag Queen was talking about people who are like
Mm-hmm.
manufacturing this dumb shtick. It's like, oh, someone did it where they was just dumb, absent-minded, and did see whatever, and it works. So now you have queens going on there purposely being when that's not who they are.
Right.
And I feel like in this situation, because Jimbo's a clown, and I'm not like clowning Jimbo like she's a drag clown. That's what she does. That's her theme, her brand of drag.
Mm-hmm.
That's not who Plain Jane is, but you keep giving us these Jimbo moments. And it's making me look at you like, are your best moments replicas of someone else?
See, this is where and I get it because she could have watched Jimbo on, UK versus the world, and also, Canada's Drag Race
Oh
and
yeah.
stuff like that. But the All-Star season that we watched was being aired during the time that they were filming this, and they're sequestered. Like, they can't even watch,
So are you saying that she didn't see it before she came?
there might have been influences,
Because like a lot
but it
of
was being aired
planes,
during the time that they were filming this. So, and they're sequestered. They can't watch what's being aired right now, or like at the time. They couldn't
I
watch
hear
All
you.
Stars at that time.
I hear you. I don't know, because again, down to her long and thick decks. That was
Well,
literally the
that was very much
same
right, but
thing.
they also did the same exact thing of the SNL spoof that it's spoofing.
Right.
With because the SNL thing is that it is two former porn stars who are just doing these random plugs. You know what I
Yeah.
mean, for these high end brands because they want to get picked up by them and stuff like that. And there are always like puns and stuff like that in there. So I mean, both
What's
of
up,
them.
Christian?
Hey, both of them did that SNL skit justice. It's just a matter of, I think that the formula is kind of stale. You know what I mean? It got kind of stale.
It is like honestly, when Jimbo and Jessica Wilde did it, it was
Mm-hmm.
enough. It legit was enough to never have gone back to that one, honestly, because I
And
don't
that's a
know.
production issue. I can't
Cause
blame
like, cause
Plain
like
Jane.
the newsroom, I couldn't imagine you not doing the newsroom.
Mm-hmm.
But like this one here just doesn't sell for me.
Right, because you can imprint your own personality on the news anchor. It's just that with that particular skit, the formula that is successful is that formula. Because if you watch the SNL skits, it's literally the same thing that you're seeing on RDR Live too. So,
Right,
it is what it
right.
is. It's like if they did a parody of Stewart, from Mad TV. It's gonna be Stewart,
I feel
but
like I don't know how I would pull this off, but if I was to do Snatch Game, I would want to be Stewart so bad. That's the
that
insider
would
from a
be awesome.
conversation
That would
earlier.
be awesome. Yeah. No, we were
But
just talking about what sketch games characters that we would do, and what sketch game characters you would do, or snatch games characters that
I'll
you
say
would do.
Sketch Game.
Snatch game. What snatch game characters you would do? Put it down in the comments. Share. All right. Get mom involved in this. All right, because we know she loves Drag Race too.
Right.
But yeah, so I just think that that was a product of the mainstream aspect of that.
Well,
But yeah, so
so Plain Jane was one of the first looks that I was
mhm.
like. Ugh. Now I
Yeah,
definitely want to highlight Q.
yeah, Q's look was
Q
beautiful.
was amazing,
Hmm.
and she did this pussycat wig. And I've been complaining for the longest about her wigs not being big enough. And for this to have been the theme, this was the perfect opportunity for her to shine. And shine she did in her runway
Hmm.
look. Her runway was, ugh.
Yeah, like this flowy, like night play on like a night,
Yes,
thing, and
like it was like
it was
this
very
rose
elegant.
gold type
Yeah.
thing with like the rubies looking like the
Hmm.
blood and coming out. It was
Hmm. It was
beautiful.
beautiful.
It
Yes.
was so beautiful.
Yes. I love
Loved it.
Nymphias. I love Nymphias.
Nephew did all red,
Um,
Asian
yeah, like came out
inspired.
looking just so
Had like I don't know what
impregnatable.
those hats are that they have, but she took the hat off to
Yeah.
reveal this black and white pussycat
Hmm.
on her wig. Like it
Yeah.
was a cat, a
Yeah.
legitimate cat.
And then
But
she
then She went to take that off.
And then it was this red finger wave ruby, type of wig on. And then oh my God, she looks so
Like,
impregnatable. Oh my God.
impregnable.
Yes.
In the words of Money Exchange, it's like
Yes.
Tyson. Impregnable.
Yes.
You're so impregnable.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
And then she took that off and revealed like a rhinestone vajayjay on the back of her head.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
And also talking about reveals and stuff, Severa Crystal
Mm-hmm.
came out and she had like a white kind of like pussycat, but it had a little updo thing at the top, like a ponytail with like a tail. It was cute. It was,
and she had a little butthole on it.
Yes, and then she took it off and became Dr. Evil.
Yes, but with a little furry cat instead of what Mr. Bigglesworth looked like before being frozen.
You're right.
Yeah.
So it was a very great look for Saphira as well.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah, and I would say that was about it as like far as
notable ones.
The most notable ones, yeah.
So I did make mention of Tsunami's look.
Mm-hmm. So, Tsunami.
I was not a fan of Tsunami's look.
Yeah, it was very masculine presenting.
Was praised a lot for it. It as a look was great.
Yeah, the look was great. It's just the presentation of it was very off-putting.
Like, it was a pantsuit. It was like one of those ball
matadors.
Yes,
a matador.
So it looked cute with the pixie wig. I get why she would have done that, but like her stance for it to be a pantsuit, everything was like a masculine boy who has some feminine tendencies and had a wig on and some makeup. That's what that looked like to me. It's not a top look at all for me.
It wasn't a top look.
Tsunami.
No, it was not. I would also have to say kudos to Maya Malapage, who actually looked to me the best that she looked all season.
The problem with that is that's the best that she's looked all season, and she's still not touching any of the girls.
Right? Yeah, no, and that's
any of the girls.
Yeah, that's we love our filler queens though.
Of course.
So, yeah. Yeah, so now we've gotten to the rankings and things of that nature, or the judges critiques. So RuPaul decided to judge instead of individually; they're judged as a group, and she awarded the win.
What the fuck moment of season 16?
Yeah, she awarded the win to Geneva Carr's group, who did ASMR Lover.
Here's the reason why I call it the what the fuck moment, because they did good. You cannot take away from that fact that their performance was good. I would say that everyone was equally as strong in their performance in their group. But to crown all four of them the winner, RuPaul, I just gave you praise for what could possibly be in your book, but this win was lazy. That's how I feel. I feel like it was just lazy. You could have said Nymphia win. You could have even said Geneva Carr because she was the team captain. Don't care. You could have said Maya Iman Page. I would have disagreed with you, but you would have made a decision instead of just being lazy and just giving all of them the win just because. I feel like, one, again, it's lazy.
Heck, you could have said Megami. Would have disagreed still. But it would have been
not to.
It would have been, but no. I mean, in all actuality,
because she wasn't hard. None of them were horrible.
Like because looking at it, and I watched these, and the thing about it is that it was very close. Like it was very close. Like I had to watch these performances 4 times, with the 4th time being right before we went on air. Like so, it's definitely we're combing with a fine tooth comb because that's how good these performances were, like in total. But in my opinion, if we're judging them individually as well, if we take a look at the winning group, which was the ASMR group, Nymphia did the best out of that group. Like, I liked her verse, the best. I liked what she did the best, like out of everybody.
On that level, I kind of like what Maya did.
Megami was a strong second because her verse was good. The performance, you know what I mean? Maya, yes, and Geneva would have been dead last in that group. The reason why because it's everything that we heard before with her.
Maya's not my breakout favorite queen, but I think I like Maya than I like Megami in that group.
Right.
I could give it to her more than Nymphia, but like
I see, and I'm judging solely off of the performance. Like the performances
Maya came
themselves.
out.
Yeah.
She started the song. She came out doing her flips
Performance
and
and
you
how
know,
the lyric went with the song.
and like while she's on her thing, she got the other girls behind her saying Maya, Maya. Like the fact that she was able to use them to brand herself like that, kudos Maya for that. And
yeah, no, Megami
not,
did that with the little line thingy and
yeah.
everything. Like they all had their moment where all of them were, you know, like yeah. And the only other group that did that was Saphira's group, which is the second best group in my opinion, because it was like they were all there to support. You know what I mean? The other ones too,
So
instead of just performing.
So here's the addition to the what the fuck moment. Beyond that being the group and everyone was the winner, outside of those 4 girls, everybody else was up for elimination.
Yep.
And we know that will boil down to just 2 people, but the fact that you would put everybody in the bottom, so basically you made all our top queens the bottoms in this episode.
Except for Nymphia.
Except for Nymphia, obviously. Which kind of tells a story. I'm just saying. If you know Wow Productions, they're telling a story right now. Even down to the fact now I'm buying it. It makes me wonder if the production picked these teams for these girls. Because a lot of times when Ru features these bottom girls like this, she's about to get rid of them. So let me give you guys a win. All of y'all are not going to get a win if I don't put y'all in a group together. Because
there's been precedent on Drag Race where they had group challenges and Ru named an individual winner.
Most of the time, that's what happens.
Yeah, like so I'm unclear as to why this time the group, production will have to answer for that because it's very rare that they do a group win.
She could do a double elimination. I'm just wishful thinking. Oops. But like that to me, because the only reason why I'm saying that is because I feel like there's no other scenario where you have those girls winning against these girls.
No.
Like Nymphia, you can easily say, yeah, Nymphia is the reason why, but no, they're all the reason why the group won. It's just for all of them to actually get the win doesn't make sense.
Right. So so they all got so after the critiques and everything, there were some decisions made, and we got the dreaded question of the season. Who
do you think should go home and why?
Right. And a lot of the girls said Q. A lot of the girls said Amanda, Tori Meeting. Q said Amanda and Tsunami, which is something. But because no one said Tsunami except for Q.
How about that?
Right. And Tsunami was not happy about that and Untucked and everything.
Because it was Tsunami's thing in Untucked was like, you said Amanda, but then you said me. She said who? Everyone named one person. You named 2. You could have stopped at Amanda. Why did you put my name in that?
Right.
How do you tell me how you really feel?
Right.
And it's interesting how everyone that voted for Q, is literally it could literally only be based off of her performance in today's episode with her dance challenge.
Outside of Dawn saying that Q is her biggest competition.
Well, I mean, so that makes sense for Dawn to say it because they have this sister rivalry thing that I love about them. But like, because there's really no other reason for Q to go home, to be completely honest, to be voted out. Which I think that's why everyone was, and I love Amanda because she takes shit on the chin and keep on going. It's like, all right, y'all keep trying me, but we love him. It's too early to.
She has a very strong jawline.
Very, but she loves it, and we love her.
You know who she looks like out of drag? From Shrek, Prince Charming.
She does.
Yeah.
She does.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. That's fun. I need her and Michelle Visage to create the I Need a Hero dance number. Michelle being the fairy godmom and stuff like that.
Oh, that would be funny.
That would be great.
So, after the decisions and deliberations, Ru made the decision for Q. What's up, Grip? For Q to, Ru made the decision for Q and Amanda to be the bottom two queens. Now, these two are. There's so much interesting about having Q and Amanda as the bottom two, because if you say a mandatory meeting is in the bottom two, it's kind of like I can understand why. She's been struggling since day one. Although her concepts are great, her execution hasn't been. Her personality is bubbly, but her drag is drab. But then you have Q, who's like polished, outfits amazing, makes some of the most impeccable pieces we've seen on the runway. Her performances overall are just on point. She's a comedian. She's a artist. She's like so amazing with like little things. And I wonder. I think it was what I said earlier about her getting in her head that she ended up in the bottom,
Mm-hmm.
because she could have easily turned her performance into, because she struggled with her dancing. That was her critique, and her outfit during the performance too.
Right.
It was
Those are only critiques that she had all night on anything.
But my thing is, like, for you to be the look queen that you are, to have that look, like, why were you rushing? Because that's all.
Right.
That's the only thing that would make sense. You spent so much time on a dance routine that you got the choreography down, but you just didn't put the spunk into it, and you kind of like lackluster with your look, which we know that you pull out good looks. So it's bad to be in the bottom because you didn't do what you were known to do. But here we are, Q. And now we're looking at the situation where we have a mandatory meeting and Q lip syncing. Now, we've seen Q lip sync before. She's not the lip sync queen. Now, we've never seen Amanda lip sync on the show, but something about Amanda tells me that she would tear up a lip sync. And that is exactly what Amanda did. And the way Ru saw it, Q won that one. Can you give me some type of technicality as to why Amanda would not have won that one?
Well, I mean, Amanda was obviously coming in being the worst, like as far as the runway, all right, and her the quality of performance
That's what
because
lands you in the bottom.
right,
But like, it's the lip sync that saves you.
right. But the thing about it is that when you go into the lip sync, you go into the lip sync on different levels. There are people who don't have to do much going into the lip sync, in part because either the person's been in there 2 weeks in a row, or this is their third time in the season,
I
being
think
in the bottom
I
or
think
something
that
like that. But like, I feel like with Amanda being safe all the way up until this time and never in the top, you know, she
so
had
you
more to
think
prove than Q
so you
because
think that
mhm.
she, even though her lip sync was better, it was because her overall performance wasn't?
The thing about it
Because
is
then why are we doing
you
it?
gotta
Just
put
send
her.
me
But
home.
did Amanda put Q to shame in that performance? No,
I'd say yes.
no,
I would say yes. In
no.
my opinion, she did better than Q did.
We're gonna disagree because I feel as though Q did a serviceable enough lip sync performance, and Amanda didn't do enough for me to justify saving her over Q because again, this was a situation
So
where
you got to put everything into perspective. It can't just be the lip sync then.
If that's the case, then Mirage should have definitely stayed last week.
Mirage didn't know the words. She didn't do a good job
Then
with
it
the lip
shouldn't be.
sync.
You just said it shouldn't be based off of what I mean.
But I'm going off of the way you're like, the way I'm getting it from you
Uh
is
huh.
like, yeah, because I'm thinking, in my opinion, Amanda did better than Q with the lip sync. She was more entertaining to watch on stage to me. But she's been safe. And it's like, okay, am I going
Mm-hmm.
to send home the safe girl or the girl that's always on the top?
Right.
But then you're not basing it off the lip sync.
If the lip sync,
The
what
lip
the
sync
lip
is
sync,
what saves you after a
right?
bad day. That's
The
why you're in
lip,
the bottom.
but again, the lip sync has to be of a certain quality,
I
and to
feel
me,
that it was.
no. To me, no,
Compared to Q, yes.
no,
I felt like I was watching Jimbo and Silky all over again.
no.
Q cannot lip sync for me. It's a no for me.
Okay. We agree to disagree. I felt as though Q did
I'll
enough
watch it a couple more times and
to
then
save
maybe,
her.
but right now, no.
Yeah. No.
It's a no for me.
Okay.
I feel like Amanda gave me. She was more entertaining.
Yeah.
She was more entertaining to me, and I wanted to see more. I get it. Her performance overall in this entire competition, she's been one of the weakest. Not the weakest, as bad as her makeup was. She's not the weakest. So it's kind of like Geneva's been saved 3 weeks now. A simple slip up. I feel like on stage with the lip sync, Amanda just does it. Sorry. I don't think that she would win out over Q in any other way. But in this lip sync, which is why we're here, because this week your performance wasn't good enough. This week your performance wasn't good enough. You both can be eliminated. The only thing that's going to save your ass is if you kill this lip sync. And I don't feel like, again, my opinion, I'm not RuPaul. So RuPaul chooses to save Q. I get it. I get it. I understand the politics and like the stories and stuff that they have to build. I get all the production. Just based on what do y'all think?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me what y'all think.
I'm over
Do y'all
here
agree with
adjusting
me?
my rankings because I made a few adjustments. Just considering your arguments and everything else like that.
I
Because
appreciate
most
that.
of my rankings didn't like. Because I was thinking about it, I was like, yeah, my rankings really didn't change the same. Like this week really didn't affect it. But I was
don't
like,
think it
no,
affected too
this
much.
week did affect some people.
It definitely affected
It
Q.
affected some people.
In my opinion, it definitely affected Q. I think this was that episode for Q that now you've been shaken up. Now, next episode, y'all better be careful because she's still here and she is a girl to be like to trifle with. She is.
Right.
So if y'all want the smoke, give it to her this week coming.
Yeah.
And the doll challenge next week, they're creating dolls. I think that this is a win.
Oh, this is definitely a Q.
Dawn or Q are going to win this next episode.
Yeah. I definitely think. Yeah. she's just great. Like you can't. Yeah.
But we know that those like.
I think Megami might make a strong
Megami,
depending upon what she does. She
I feel like she won't be in the bottom.
Yeah. No.
And I don't know what it is about Megami.
That is improvement.
Really good.
She's improved. She stepped up. Like I can see Megami stepping up. You know what I mean?
I feel like when you have other girls that go home, the mediocre girls have no choice but to step up, or they're going home.
And some of them do, and some of them don't.
Because you can't just swim in the pond with a bunch of fishes because at this point, like they're getting plucked out. So like you have to stand out at this point,
right?
And I mean, I've said it from the beginning. I've liked some of Megami's opening looks. Like I've really enjoyed her look. So it's not the look for me when it comes to Megami. Megami has the look. I think it's the personality, which is one of the issues with Geneva Carr's group in this competition on this episode, because like none of them have the personality that's big like the other ones in that particular group, except for Nymphia. Yeah. Like Geneva, Maya, Megami, you know who they are, but they're not Nymphia or Dawn or Plain Jane.
Right.
Or even Morphine for that matter. Yeah. Like Morphine is bigger. Like Morphine gave me what I didn't know I wanted. Honestly.
Yeah, no, and Morphine moved up. Megami and Morphine moved up in the rankings.
Well, like, you had to because Mirage is gone, in my opinion, and that's for more.
But they moved up over queens that were ahead of them. You know, no. Okay, so I'm gonna start from the bottom. All right. Of course, the two queens that I would not mind seeing go right now are Geneva Carr, first out for me. Like I'm okay.
Okay.
Carr is putting, not vroom vrooming. All right. Ready to take it and junk it. Then you got my Iman LePage. I mean, it's just not flipping for me. Best that she looked all season. Thus far
was during RDR when her wig fell off and her eyelashes was in her face.
No, her runway this week to me was the best that she's looked all season. Like, yeah, but,
I don't necessarily like her makeup.
Yeah, no, and I don't necessarily care for the whole package. So
I'm trying to be nice.
Then you got Zanami Muse, which I'm sad about because Zanami outside of drag.
Oh no! Wait, let me see that.
Yeah, Zanami Muse.
Jeez, I don't know if I agree with that one.
Outside of drag, Zanami is a very cute boy. Very cute boy. All right. But in drag, very regular. Very regular.
Not all the
Eh,
time.
eh,
Not all the time.
eh,
Her regular stands out more than Maya and Megami to me.
yeah.
Personality. So with Megami, it's the personality. She stands out way more.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to Maya, it's everything.
Right. Then I have Megami. All right, above Tsunami.
Okay.
Then I have Morphine. Morphine moved up. Okay, she moved up. Then I have Q.
You
Yeah.
were always in like the top 3, top 4.
Right, but yeah, she dropped. Then I have Q. Then I have Dawn. Okay, and then we come into the winners, like where the solid winners.
So you still got Plasma up at the top?
I do still have Plasma just above Dawn, slightly above Dawn. Like that gap has closed.
It's because Plasma's won and Dawn hasn't.
Right. And then you got Plain Jane.
Yeah.
And then you got Saphira, and then Nymphia is the leader.
I'm with you on all of those.
Race.
Besides, like the Megami and Tsunami.
You would flip them.
I would flip them around.
You would flip them around. I thought Megami did very, very well.
I think Tsunami did great.
Right.
In the group, I didn't like her runway, but in the group, she was great.
Right, but her group was also, to me, the one of the weakest. And I didn't think that she was as good. Like I thought that Plain Jane.
I feel like they were consistent.
Yeah, they were consistent, but they weren't. They weren't even, and they were the last place ones for me. So that's why I kind of gave Tsunami a little bit more over. You know what I mean? I just the quality of Geneva and Maya's race is still way less than Tsunami's race.
So Geneva,
even with this shared win, it's
the
still
crazy thing with
better.
Geneva is she's a good queen, but she's like a Tuesday night queen at the bar that's hosting bingo. I don't see her as a headline queen.
Monday night.
Okay, I'll give her that.
She's the Monday night queen that hosts Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, hosts a trivia game that sits in the corner and you don't even know that she's there because she hide in the corner on a microphone. Mm-hmm.
And wrestling's on. No one's paying her any attention.
Yeah, people came because the game was on, and they just happened to throw in the Quiznos during
the Rock. The Rock is on the TV right now. That's all people care about.
So that's why I see Geneva. It's like, what would it take for her to like break out? Because she does the big hair. Her makeup's not bad.
I think it's the face underneath the makeup, maybe.
Wait, huh? How? Because that's what the whole makeup is an illusion. They draw on lips that aren't there. They draw on eyebrows that aren't there.
Well, then she's gonna need 3D makeup or something. I don't know.
You're horrible. I thought I was bad.
I mean, Geneva. I don't like the car. The car is not my.
But let's say this though: as low as we're ranking her, she was one of the queens that at one point did top. Mm-hmm. She's the only queen that was at the top. Well, no, now Q, but you didn't rank Q as low as you've ranked.
Right, Geneva felt like a stone because again, who buys cars from Mexico?
Damn. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching another good episode of the GreatMines Show. We really do look forward to next week. They're doing they're creating dolls again.
Right. Yes.
This next episode I think was made for Nymphia, Q, and Dawn.
We'll see.
I mean, we have some other really good girls.
We'll see, because Q was in the bottoms this week and could have went home. So I think that
they just harped on her dancing.
I think that might be a clue, though, that no one is safe. That might be an underlying theme right there. I think
that's why Ru gave us this what the fuck moment.
It probably is preparing us.
Saphira was up for elimination.
It's probably preparing us for somebody going home. Maybe Plain Jane might go home next week with their immunity potion just sitting there.
How about
Who knows?
How about that?
Who knows? But I think that was a shot to get us prepared.
You think you're doing good.
Right.
And then they pull one of these.
Right.
Where you had Plain Jane, Q, and freaking Saphira all up for elimination. Like, I thought there was going to be like a Lollapalooza. But
yeah.
when it all came down to it, bye a mandatory meeting. We love
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
We support you. Can't wait to see what you do in the future.
Yes, yes, definitely. Please improve so that you can come back for our All-Star
She
season.
will.
I would love to see her come back. I mean,
You know what I
this
think is going
season
to
has
happen?
a lot of solid, like two solid candidates to come back for our All-Star season
Who
that
are
would
those?
genuinely have me invested. I would want to see Mirage. I want to see more
Definitely.
Mirage. And I definitely want to see more of a mandatory meeting. Like I do. I want to see more of them. And hopefully they improve and can come back in an All-Star season and compete for that All-Stars crown.
Yeah, I feel like I want more.
Yeah.
And like, I really believe that a lot of people, not just the queens from this season, but from like other seasons, are going to gravitate to Amanda and really help her out.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that the next time we see her on the platform, she's going to do a Kahana Montrese like reveal.
Mm-hmm.
Like when Kahana came back in the picture, she's like stunning,
Mm-hmm.
along with a couple other people. Honestly, I think that's because one, Amanda's transitioning.
Mm-hmm.
So if Amanda's transitioning, she's going to become a lot more feminine. And then she's already feminine, but like she's going like the body's going to soften up. And then with all the other queens that's going to come around, she's going to like drag up her look so much. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait to see what happens with Amanda. Even though Mirage's was the saddest elimination. It was sad to see
Mm-hmm.
Amanda go, but I'm also very happy for her. So
Yeah. I definitely think that a mandatory meeting is definitely going to be a hot commodity in the drag
we all
world.
love her.
Congratulations
Yes.
to all your success that is about to come to you, madam, and all that. Yeah, I'm excited. Hopefully, you do come back for All-Star season.
You have to.
Yeah.
I was going to say earlier, it's just too soon, but she would be congeniality.
Mm-hmm.
She would definitely.
Yeah,
be
thus far,
congeniality.
yes. Yeah, thus far, yes.
The only person that I would see getting it, they would have to not win, which would be Severa,
Mm-hmm.
because she's Mama.
Right.
But we still bet on her winning.
Yeah, no, she's
So.
yeah. It has to be her. Like it has to be her and Nymphia. Like unless RuPaul wants, like as it stands right now, like I think that if Nymphia or Saphira went home within the next 3 weeks, I think that there would be such a mutiny of fans.
Yeah.
Like they like
cancel RuPaul Drag Race if those two go home.
Like if they don't, like
not
if those
even
two,
if one of them go home, like if either of them go home before the finale, cancel the show.
Yeah, like that's how I feel. But I also think that that's what they're like. This episode with Q being in the bottom two is to say, hey, expect the unexpected this season because somebody's going to be going home that probably y'all thought was going to be in the finals.
I'm okay with that as long as it's not Nymphia or Saphira.
But hopefully it's not, because I swear to Bob, RuPaul. Like it will be over. It will be over.
Like yeah, and it's so messed up how many people are like. I've been supposed to end the show.
Yeah,
no, but the amount of people who mainstream or drag stream like Trixie or T.S. Madison in this episode keeps trying to find things to pick apart with Saphira. Y'all can't. Y'all really can't. This girl is a winner from the start, and they keep saying, "Oh, well, you look like you were in your head." That's all you can say.
I don't think you understand the amount of polish,
excellence,
the amount of grit that you got to deal with to earn the title of Philly's crown jewel. Okay, like
everything
she earned
she's
it
giving her
before she got on this show.
Yeah, before the show. So but I say this when I watch competition shows, how sometimes the judges will give a bad critique to sway the audience to feel away. They're trying to. That's why I feel like they keep trying to do is Saphira. Stop doing that to my girl.
We're not doing it. We're not standing for it because we
will start a petition.
Like, share, subscribe. All right.
I'm not doing that because Saphira is the truth.
Yeah,
and
I'm saying like, share, and subscribe this so that everybody else can know that Saphira is the truth. We love Nymphia, but Saphira is the truth.
I was about to say, because y'all know I'm Team Saphira all day, but at the end of the season, when we're at the finale and we have Saphira and Nymphia standing side by side, I am not upset at whoever wins.
Nope. There's no arguing with that outcome. As long as those two queens are there at the end, RuPaul. Like, wow.
Honestly, y'all can just go ahead to the finale right now.
Yeah, with those two.
Give me Snatch Game and give me the finale.
Which, yeah, just skip right to the finale.
Because if there's any, like, honestly,
oh my gosh, what if the both of them end up in the bottom of the? Oh my god! I don't want to think about it.
But why would they both be in the bottom? They're both too good. Like, everything that they touch, they master. They're good at everything that they do.
Oh my gosh, I'm getting a headache. We gotta end the show.
I could imagine if, like, there was a twist and one of them ended, but if they both end up in the bottom in a situation, that's BS.
Oh,
from high hell.
Mutiny, RuPaul, don't do it. All right.
Production, find a way around that one. Don't let that happen.
Yes, wow. Please figure it out, wow.
Anyway.
Right. Thank you. Thank y'all for coming. God bless you. Good night.